Hey, sports fans. This is the Skylander sports scene, and John Kuntz, your host. I'm the athletic director here at Sussex County Community College, and I have two of our female soccer athletes as our guests today. First, we have Gabby Sarni, who was a first team All Region player in 2016 and 2017, and we have Brittany Todd, who was a second team All Region player from 2017. So, welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's start off. We're going to talk a little soccer today. You guys had a great soccer season this past fall, very successful, a lot of accomplishments. So let's talk a little bit about your time at Sussex and playing for the Sussex soccer program. What was that like? What did you like about it? And talk a little bit about it.
My time at Sussex here has been nothing but unbelievable. From meeting girls from all over the country to being with coaches that know what they're talking about, I don't think I will miss anything more in life than what I have here. Everything from the start of my first preseason to the end of my last game here has been nothing but exceptional.
When I first started, I didn't really know what to expect or what I was really stepping into, but the coaches are so welcoming, and the girls, you soon to realize that they're not just your teammates, but they're your sisters. You guys are a family, and the whole season and past two seasons has been like incredible for me with the opportunities that I've been given and had from Sussex. I just can't thank this whole program enough.
Well, I know that both of you ladies were very instrumental in the success of our programs. And Gabby, I wanted to ask you, I mean, most recently, you were a recipient of another award from the National Association of Girls and Women in Sport, and you were selected from our college as the Sussex County Community College Woman of the Year, which involves academic achievement as well as athletic success, and you're going to be honored in February down at Seton Hall University at a luncheon and a basketball game, and they're going to have all the female athletes from the colleges of New Jersey down on the floor at halftime to be recognized. So how does that feel to be recognized by the National Association of Girls and Women in Sport?
At first, I was a little shocked. I think I'm still in shock because, I don't know, I just wasn't expecting to be named from a big honor. I think it's a great opportunity or a great honor to be named this because I think people almost look down at junior colleges and their sports, and to be named Female Athlete of the Year and have that title, it just goes to show to people that county colleges aren't the worst thing in the world for people to go to, and so many opportunities arise from being part of it.
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities here at Sussex, and that's a great honor for you to be recognized by that organization and to represent our college as the Woman of the Year for your achievement in academics and athletics. So, Brittany, let me ask you a question. What are you studying, and what's the future hold for you?
Right now, I'm studying early education with hopes of one day also minoring in special ed or mathematics, whichever one pleases me the most. In the future, I'd like to continue playing on to a 4-year. I do not know exactly where that will be at the moment, but I would love to continue playing soccer because that's what I love in life, and nothing else will make me as happy as what I am when I'm on the field.
And Gabby, how about you? What are you studying, and what's your future hold?
Here I'm studying biology, but when I transfer to a 4-year, I'll be transferring into a nursing program. And eventually I'd like to be an anesthesiologist nurse. Soccer is still debatable. I'm not sure if I can handle nursing clinicals and soccer at the same time, but I don't want to give it up yet, so we're gonna try. Just don't know where.
I hope it works out for you. I know the medical field, that when you're studying for that, obviously takes up a lot of time. It's a huge commitment. But I'm sure you've been an excellent student over your time here at Sussex, and also an excellent athlete, and hopefully you'll be able to continue playing both as you move on. Besides Gabby receiving a recent award, Brittany also was recognized during the course of the season. She was voted by her teammates as to receive the character award from your team. What did that mean?
That honestly means the world to me. Not only is it nice when coaches like appreciate me, but to see my teammates that I've been with day in and day out see me at such a high level as a person is an honor. Like, I would never have thought that I would have gotten it, and just through thick and thin, no matter what everything we've been through, just to be able to get the character award is incredible. I am so grateful for each and every one of them, and I can't thank them enough for everything they do for me.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to be recognized by your teammates for the hard work that you put in, and it shows what you meant to your teammates. Gabby, what's the difference from playing in high school and then coming to the 2-year college here at Sussex? What's the game like in different ways as far as soccer is concerned, speed and so on?
The game is definitely a much faster pace. It's also just a higher level, and I also think that everyone has the same love and passion for soccer. And in high school, there's, girls who just play to play, but here is like everyone plays because it's their life, it's their passion, it's what they live for. It's a much higher level than high school, and one, I think you just learn so much knowledge of the game. Like, I didn't think there was so much about soccer than 11 girls playing, kicking the ball around. Like, there's so much more to it that people don't really know or see. And the coaches here, you just learn so much about each position, the different runs, different plays, how to kick the ball a different way. It's just a lot more to it in college than in high school, I think.
And Brittany, what did you find? You were a graduate of Wallkill Valley High School, Regional High School, and then you came to Sussex and started playing soccer here. What were the differences for you?
I can agree with Gabby with definitely what she was saying with the speed of play and also the passion. Coming from high school to college was a big jump for me because I went from being able to know everyone on the team to not knowing anyone. Within the first few weeks, all the girls were very welcoming, and by the end of the season, I had family from all over the world with me always. Definitely the speed of play is a lot different. You learn a lot about more of the tactics of the game in college than rather in high school. I can even say I'm still learning things up to this day and will always be about the game, and there's always something new to be taught, and I can definitely say the coaches have taken the time out of their day to definitely help us with that, to always like raise our soccer IQ, as what they say. But definitely high school to college is two completely different games, and I honestly can't imagine playing in high school again because college is so much better.
You mentioned something that was interesting there about coming to the college, and then you pick up and you start to meet other female athletes, whereas back in your hometown you played with the girls from that area. Now you come to a college and you come face to face with some international students and some international players from England or Brazil or Venezuela. What was that like for the Skylanders? We'll start with you, Brittany, and then Gabby can answer the two.
I honestly think it's the most incredible thing that we have internationals here, because not only do you learn about their style of play in their country, but you also learn about their cultures and how they do things back in their hometown. It also is very nice because you make bonds with these girls, and even if you don't talk to them like each and every day, you can still contact them and they'll always be welcoming even when they're back home. I have friends that are back home now because they graduated last year, and I still keep contact with them, and they always say if I ever come to their countries, I'm always welcome to stay.
And Gabby, what did you find with the international players?
I think it's just amazing learning about all the different cultures, and at end of practice we would all just sit around and argue about, oh, we say this for this word and they say that, and it's just fun learning a whole different almost like view or world of soccer, because soccer to them where they're from can be different from here. So it's just interesting to learn different things about what they do back home and here. It's just different and interesting that they can bring this here and we can all bring it together as a family.
I think that's really interesting that you're able to create those relationships and hopefully those long-term bonds where 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, you can still have contact with your teammates when you played here at Sussex, and those friendships will be long lasting. You're listening to WRSK 97.5, your cruising oldie station in the Skylander sports scene. This is John Kuntz. I'm speaking with Gabby Sarni and Brittany Todd, two of our soccer players. Gabby's a graduate of Kittatinny High School, and Brittany a graduate of Walk Hill Valley High School. Let's talk about your coaching staff. I know there's head coach Frank Vernacchio, I guess fondly known as Coach Frank to all of you. And Mike Rath was involved in coaching with the women, and a couple of other of our coaches. Let's talk a little bit about them. We'll start with Gabby this time.
These coaches put so much heart and effort into everything they do for us, and there's really no way to repay them, because thank you just isn't enough of how much money and effort they put into everything. We went to the escape room over the summer during preseason for bonding. They bought us wristbands to, motivate us for our green lights. They bought us beads for, to show the season was ending. They just put so much effort into everything they do for us that it makes you feel so great to be a part of this.
And Brittany?
I've never had coaches that put so much dedication into a team, not only just as coaches themselves, but as personal friends. If I ever needed someone to talk to, they would always be the first person I would go to, because I knew I could open up to them and they would give me advice that would help me in the future. Like Gabby was saying, they put so much into us, and I can't thank them enough. No matter if it's a bad game or the best game of your life, they always have criticism, which can always motivate you to make you better. I honestly think that the coaches themselves made me into the person I am today. Coming from high school to college, I just was like, all right, soccer. But with them, they made me smarter, not only on the field, but in life. And they've helped me so much, and I honestly can't thank them enough. We have the best coaches here at Sussex.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I know Frank Vernacchio over the years has really developed the soccer program, first on the men's side and then on the women's side, and now he's doing both. He's done a great job, and Mike Rath, the effort that he puts in, certainly does a great job as well. I was also told to ask you, Brittany, about Mike's van and co-pilot, and this is kind of a big deal, because our teams here at Sussex travel by vans to away games. It's usually 2 or 3 15-passenger vans, and obviously the teammates get split up in different vans, and the coaches drive the vans. And evidently in Brittany's van, she was the co-pilot. So what's that all about?
Well, first off, the first year Gabby was Mike's co-pilot, so I kind of replaced her.
Okay.
But honestly, I wasn't aiming to be co-pilot. When we were going on a trip to Maryland, I sat in the back seat, and Mike told me to get up and move to the front. So I definitely could say that he wanted me as co-pilot from the start, and he just didn't want to tell me. We do have a little feud between vans. Obviously, it's all playful between Mike's van and Frank's van. Mike's van's always better, but that's for a discussion for another day. But it's an honor to be Mike's co-pilot, because he is basically my best friend, and I honestly can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me. And I don't know, it's just really great to just have him as my van driver for 2 years, going to games, because on the way back from games, even though he can tell I'm just like mad, he's like, all right, let's talk. I'm like, no, but I'll do it anyway, just because you asked. And he'd always would be the first person to tell me if I had a bad game, or be the first person to tell me I had a good game. So it depends, but like, he was always there for me, and I can't thank him enough for anything. And Mike's van's always better. Sorry, Gab.
Well, that's interesting. I think those little things that occur during the course of the season, like you mentioned before, Gabby, about the beads and the wristbands and being a co-pilot, those things create camaraderie and cohesiveness amongst the team that may be a little playful competitiveness, but I think those are really good things. You were also both named captains this season. What does that mean, and what does that bring on? What's the responsibility? We'll start with you, Gabby.
I think it's a great role to have, because one, the girls just look up to you. They go to you for anything, and you're that person for them to, set the tone of the game, set the tone of practice. Like, you're their leader. They look up to you for whatever you do. And I think in order to be that, you need to, one, just be like so caring and, make sure each and every one of the girls are okay. If someone looks down, I think all of us would, as captains, reach out to them and like literally question them to death to find out what was wrong with them. Like, we just really made sure all the girls felt welcomed and, at home, because most of them travel from all over.
Brittany, what did you feel about being named captain?
Being a captain was an honor. In the beginning, it was a struggle because I didn't know exactly how I was going to take leadership onto the team. But as the season went on, it was great having girls be able to come up to me openly and tell me their concerns and be able to reach out and be the best type of captain they could be. Being a leader on the field is not always easy at times, but I take pride in that captain's band, and honestly, I'm going to miss wearing it.
Okay. Sports fans, you're listening to WRSK 97.5, your cruising oldie station and the Skylander sports scene. I'm speaking with Gabby Sarni and Brittany Todd, two of our soccer players that played for the last 2 years on our women's soccer program. I'm going to throw this question out now to Brittany. What would you tell high school athletes about college sports that you wished someone told you?
It's not as hard as what you think it is. In the beginning, it looks like you're going into this big pool of players, but as long as you work hard and prove that you are as good as everyone else, you will do fine. Coming from high school, I was scared because all I saw was people going just schools, and they didn't really know anything that's happening. But after coming to Sussex, I have confidence that when I transfer, I will be able to play because I know I can compete with them. And honestly, coming from high school, you just have to work as hard as possible. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Just keep moving forward.
And Gabby, what did you think? Is there something that you wish someone had told you as you embarked on your college career about athletics, going forward to the college level?
I think after my first semester of playing soccer and going to school at the same time at classes and studying, I think you really learn the skill of time management. So I really think, my advice to people from high school going to college is honestly do your schoolwork and everything as early as possible, because then you have, to go to practice, then you have games during the week. So it's difficult to manage all that. But I think once you find something like a schedule that works for you, I think you'll have no problem. But that's a big thing I wish I kind of learned earlier than what I did, because some of the labs and lectures were very difficult to manage between soccer and studying and everything.
Yeah, time management is certainly an important aspect for a student athlete. From the studying aspect to the practices to the games to the travel, there's obviously a lot of time that is required in being an athlete, and then there's maybe other responsibilities outside of school that would involve possible part-time jobs or taking care of somebody at home. So you really got to manage your time well. Do you guys, and we'll start with Gabby on this one, do you guys have a message for anybody out there who might be considering a 2-year college like Sussex or considering Sussex? What would your message be to them?
One, don't really get discouraged on, what people say, because people do make comments like, oh, you're going there. Honestly, I think it was one of the best decisions I've made in my life so far. It really, I don't know, for people that don't know what they want to do, this is probably a good choice, because they get to experience things and find out what they really want to do for the rest of their life. I guess, I don't know.
Just come to Sussex, right?
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah.
Brittany, what do you think?
I would say do it. When you look at other schools and you see how much they are and you're doing the basic same course load there as you would be doing here, you save so much more here. I personally was not all for coming here at first, but now after going through all the classes and even soccer itself, I don't want to leave, because it has given me a new home. And like Gabby was saying, don't get discouraged about going to a 2-year college first, because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to this 4-year and it's all big and great. But when after everything's all over, see how much they're in debt compared to you, and you're going to be really surprised. And it's honestly the same thing, like I was saying, with going to a 4-year first or coming here. You're doing the same thing and you're staying close to home. That way you can mature. I personally needed some time to mature before I went away, and now I'm ready to go away because of the fact that I learned more about myself and I learned how to manage my time right out of high school, and basically just come to Sussex because you're not going to regret it.
What was that decision process like when the time was getting close, or you knew you had to make that final decision as to where was I going to attend college after high school, and Sussex was on your mind and everything? What was the process like? What did you weigh? Was it the financial aspect? Was it the close to home aspect that Brittany just mentioned? Was it the possibility of playing sports and getting playing time right away? Can you talk a little bit about that? We'll start with Gabby first.
One, I think, deciding factor was I was having a soon-to-be nephew, so I wanted to stay close to home, and I'm really thankful that I did because I basically spend every day with him now. So I've got to see him grow up and stuff. I think another thing is that my parents are only paying a certain amount for all 3 of us to go to school. So this route that I took, I won't really have a lot of money out of my pocket to pay, which is great because my mom's always like, those people that went away are gonna have hard time buying a house, and you'll be able to buy one like no problem. Another thing is that what was the other question?
We're talking about the process and the decision that you were making to come to Sussex financially. That's all right. We know you're a good student, Gabby, so we won't hold this against you that you lost your train of thought.
I was going somewhere with it.
Okay.
I just stopped.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but one, close to home, I really didn't want to go far to begin with. Another thing was that if I was going away to a 4-year, I probably wasn't going to play soccer. So I think since I got the opportunity to play here, I think that was kind of the deal breaker for me.
So that was a little bit of a motivating
Yeah.
factor, knowing that you were probably
Yeah.
going to be able to play here soccer and
Yeah.
make some type of impact. Brittany, how about you? What was that process like for you when it came time to make the decision?
Well, when it came to looking at colleges, I kind of was stubborn and didn't want to look. My brother also came to Sussex, therefore my parents were saying how it's a good school to start at, and it also with the money too. I was fortunate coming out of high school to get NJ Stars, which granted me free tuition for both my years. So my parents told me that I had to use it. There really was no choice. Also, soccer motivated me to come here too, because talking to Mike and Frank, they spoke to me about how many opportunities I can get from coming here first before going to a 4-year. And honestly, just picking the college wasn't really something I wanted to do, but I had to do, and my parents kind of pushed me towards to coming here first. But after everything that happened, I am very grateful for what they did, because not only am I leaving debt-free so far, but also they gave me 2 years of a life that I will never forget.
Yeah, you won't be strapped with any kind of loans or anything. There's a lot of great opportunities here at Sussex, and you certainly, 2 ladies, have taken advantage of it. You listen to the Skylander sports scene right here on the Cruisin' Oldie station in 97.5. This is John Kuntz, your host, speaking with Gabby Sarni and Brittany Todd, 2 of our soccer players. I want to ask you this question. What message would you have for any student athlete thinking about coming in or returning next year to Sussex? What would be your message? You've spent 2 years now. You've gained some experience as soccer players. What would be your message to them as athletes? What could the new person expect?
I would definitely say that they're going to expect something great. I would always say, don't take any moment for granted, because before you know it, it's gone. I wish I could have another season here at Sussex, let alone more years. I definitely think for any athlete that's thinking about playing a sport in college, it can't hurt to try. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. At least you tried and you showed yourself that you're capable of doing something other than just school. For any returners, once again, don't take anything for granted because those 2 years go by so quickly, and before you know it, you're looking at other colleges elsewhere.
Gabby?
Like Brittany said, time really does fly. Like I can't believe I'm graduating in the spring. It's just crazy to think about that. Just 2 years ago, I was just starting my journey here. I think since the main message is probably to cherish every day, every moment that you spend, with your team, whichever team you're on, because it goes by so fast. And another thing is that this journey opens so many doors for you that you don't realize coming into it, and after it, you can basically really go anywhere. It's just wherever your heart desires, but there's so many doors open for me that I really didn't think they were going to be open. So I'm thankful for that opportunity.
Yeah, I think every student, whether they're an athlete or not, should make the most of their opportunities here at Sussex. There are so many things to get involved with. Obviously, athletics is one of them, but there's so many other things involved on campus and in campus life and student government. I'm going to close with this. I'm going to both ask you to answer this question, and we'll start with Gabby. What's your favorite memory at Sussex? Do you have a favorite memory? And I know it's always difficult when someone asks that question to pick out one particular thing, but is there one, or is there just a general memory of your time here at Sussex?
I guess my favorite memory would be when I broke the record for however many goals in a season here at Sussex. Just that game and, the last goal that I scored to beat the record, not just tie it, but beat it. Everyone ran up to me and was like, oh, that was it. And it was, I don't know, I'll just never forget that I got to share it with, all the girls on the field, all the girls on the bench. You don't really realize how so many people were so, rooting for you and cheering for you at that moment. And just to share it with everyone who helped me get there was really, really great.
Yeah, that was a special moment when you broke the school record for most goals in a season with 26 goals. That's quite a number of goals, so I certainly congratulate you on that, and I can see why it can be such a special moment. And Brittany, what's your favorite memory?
That's hard. There's so many memories throughout the 2 years of being here that it's hard to pick out one. Probably, I would say with both years, my favorite memories were going on the road trips to other states and staying overnight. Not only are you with it's in the beginning of the season, so you know the girls, but you don't exactly. But by the end of that trip, you're closer than ever because not only are you getting your first few games in of the season, but you're also learning about each other in ways that you never thought before. Also, I guess my favorite memories throughout all the years was all the team bonding things we did. The escape room, especially this year, was something that I'll definitely hold forever, even though my team did lose. But it's just the little things that just make the most memories, I guess you can say, because there's just so many things that happen within 2 years that it's hard to pick out just one. Everything's just so great.
Yeah, there's a lot of memories that are created here at Sussex County Community College, whether you're a student athlete or not, or whether you're a soccer player or a basketball player. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on to the show today. Gabby, Sarni, and Brittany, Todd, I certainly appreciate it. You've been listening to the Skylander Sports Scene right here on WRSK 97.5, your Cruisin' Oldies station. Cruisin' Oldies station. Cruisin' Oldies station. Cruisin' Oldies station.